What's it mean for Seattle? And it does mean something for Seattle because don't forget that Dave Canales, now OC for Tampa Bay, was someone who worked very closely with both Drew Lock and Geno Smith, who, need I remind you guys, both unrestricted free agents. Bump, are we looking at new competition here for Seattle in terms of retaining both of these players?
Of course you are. That's how the league works. We just saw Sean Payton hit up his boy Rex Ryan and say, forget TV, come holla at me.
Yeah. You and your veneers, get here to Denver.
Beautiful teeth.
Yeah.
Now you're going to see the same thing with Canales. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he go and try to get a player that he understands? He knows his strengths. He knows his weaknesses. He knows his leadership capabilities. He understands that he helped him have the best year in his career as a Pro Bowler. And why wouldn't Geno think about it? Go down to Florida. The weather's nice. I believe Geno's from the South anyway.
You could win the division. You don't have the 49ers and maybe the Rams standing in your way.
It wouldn't be a bad situation. You might have more influence over there if you want that because you and Canales have a working relationship. Why wouldn't Canales go after Geno Smith? He should go after Geno Smith. He'd be dumb not to go after Geno Smith. And if that doesn't work out, even a Drew Lock. It's all about your quarterback. He was a quarterback coach. He was he was a passing game coordinator as well.
He's been a couple
This is what he does, man. Canales has been loyal, too. He's been with the Seahawks since, 2010 or something like that. He's learned a lot. He's learned what to do. He's learned what not to do. He's had a offense where you were one of the best rushing attacks in the league. He's coached under an offense where you were the best passing attack in the league. This guy's ready for this moment. I'm happy for him, and he has to do his due diligence, and that is starting with Geno Smith and having those conversations come March 15th.
The only thing benefiting Seattle in this case, Tampa Bay's cap space. Now, they got to figure out the Tom Brady situation. He's retiring, but I think that this is taking into account maybe some dead money there. I'll double check it. It looks like it's accounting for something from his salary, which is confusing to me, but I don't know. Maybe there's dead money carrying over, even though he's a free agent. So we're looking at cap space right now. Seahawks top 10 in cap space with $31 million. Obviously, this is all subject to change. Starting with the Jets, you get into teams that are over the cap. They're going to have to make moves to get under it. And you go all the way down. Number 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, $55 million over the cap right now. That will change, okay? It will change. They have more players right now accounting for contracts than do some of the teams that are in the top 10, including Seattle, who only has 48 players in contract for 2023 right now. But it's not like they can come out here and throw quite as much money at Geno as could Seattle, as could any one of these other teams. I don't know, the Texans. You don't think that they'll be, but like the Texans, the Giants, the Raiders, the Falcons, the Bears, all of those teams have a ton of cap space. Not everyone needs a quarterback. I'm just listing the teams above Seattle here. So that is something standing in Tampa's way, at least. But it's just interesting. I feel like, Bump, so much of our conversations about quarterbacks is as if, like, you know, hey, in Seattle, just say yes or no. Do you want them or not? Don't forget, Drew and Geno are choosing where to go, too.
Right.
You may not be their top choice.
They got options. Canales might whisper in Geno's ear and say something that excites him, that gets him to see a future in Florida. He might say something to Drew Lock to say, you know what, man, you'll get more opportunity over here. You want to be a backup your whole life? What you want to do over there in Seattle? This is the game within the game. This is the off-season game. And that is a great point because people forget that players get to choose as free agents. And I don't see this happening, but say Geno takes less money to have more control, to have more influence over there. You got to cater to a man's ego as well. Yeah. Everyone in the NFL has an ego. They would not be there if they did not have an ego.
The backup kicker on practice squad has an ego.
Obviously. Robbie Gould has an ego. He's talking about Jalen Hurts, make him play quarterback. If you strap it up on Sundays and Saturdays, you have an ego. So that's how you get Geno to think about it. You tap into it. You feed into it. And who knows Geno better than Canales? Maybe Shane Walders. I don't know. But
not many.
You got to play the game. You got to play the off-season game. So I see it happen, and he's supposed to make it happen down there. He has weapons. He would have weapons. Mike Evans is over there. Godwin is over there. Evans has 9 straight seasons with over 1,000 yards. You got a couple running backs over there as well. And we'll see what they do defensively. Levante David's a free agent as well. But at this point, I think Geno should put himself in a position where he feels he will be the most comfortable.
Now, question, is there one of the two? Geno's obviously the more ready-to-go starter. Do you think that Geno is more likely than Drew to be lured away? Or do you think that almost of the two, Drew might be more likely to be lured away?
I would say Drew.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I'd say Drew. I'd say Drew because he's a backup. I think Geno has established himself here in Seattle. We think we know what he can do. He is comfortable in this office with Shane Waldron. I would assume that Canales would take aspects of this offense and take it over there to Tampa Bay as well. Maybe it's language, scheme, all that good stuff. But I look at Drew Lock. Drew's the one who's looking for that second chance. Geno, this is Geno's second chance here in Seattle. And he made the most of it, and he's going to get paid for it. If there's anybody, Drew's licking his chops like, if I can go somewhere and compete for a starting job right now, because he's not competing for a starting job right now if Geno's still here.
No.
He's going to be the backup. He's going to hold the clipboard, and if something happens to Geno, he's in. Because he has an ego, because he's one of these alphas in the league, he's looking at Tampa Bay. Canales, man, you send that late-night text, you up. Drew Lock is responding quickly.
Well, and I mean, for anyone, I know that quite a few of you are thinking about potential paths that you want to take in terms of quarterback for 2023 for the Seahawks. And you're saying, hey, I don't want to pay Geno. I think that might be like a one-year wonder, in terms of his starting year. I want Drew Lock, and then I want to spend a bunch of money on defense. This story affects you. This story is one that you are watching very closely. So if you're someone that's like, hey, I really wanted Drew Lock, and I know a lot of you are out there. I wanted to bring back Drew and Geno, just for the record. Geno is the starter, pay Geno, and then just hang on to Drew because you never know. But if you're someone that's like, I want to roll with Drew, I think he was really special. I kind of liked what I saw in the preseason. Hey, you're paying attention to what happens in Tampa Bay. You are watching to see if they make a bunch of cuts. You are watching to see if they start clearing up some cap space.